McDonald's, Burger King and KFC, you've heard of them all, but today I'm going to try and find the next big thing by visiting franchises you've never heard of. Some of the things I'm going to be looking for is how unique the franchise is, how clean it is, what the atmosphere is like, and what the price is like. I've read a couple of the reviews just to get an idea of what the place is going to be like, and they're kind of concerning. Both Samantha and Alexa said that the food was inedible. However, Mia liked the food, and she even went as far as saying it was the best food ever. Carla's review, on the other hand, was off-putting, to say the least. She said, and I quote, "Food was raw and made me sick." And then she included a photo. I don't think I've ever been served a burger like that in my life. By far the most concerning review was Courtney's. She literally reviewed this yesterday, and I'm not sure if I should even visit the restaurant right now. She said that she got mold in her food, and she even uploaded a picture of the cheesecake. It doesn't look good. This is like literally yesterday, so I'm quite off-put, but you know I'm gonna have to buy that cheesecake and try it, and the burger. I wonder whose reviews are going to be the most accurate. So are these fast food franchises unknown for a reason? Let's find out. As we walked up to it, I was surprised because it was set out more like a kebab shop where you go in and there's these like illuminated lights. It just felt like a kebab shop sort of place, but Hello Kitty themed. You order on this little kiosk thing like you do in McDonald's these days, and there's quite a lot to choose from. I had to choose the beef burger, of course, but I got the double beef burger with bacon and cheese, and I also went for a cheesecake. I tried to get the one in the review. There was 2 chocolate ones. I wasn't sure which one she got, so I just chose the Ferrero Rocher one. Jordan went for the halloumi fries and an ice cream, and then he brought them straight over. And now this is the point. The food's just been brought to me. Is the burger going to be raw? Is the cheesecake going to be mouldy? I sort of carefully look at the burger. It looks good from the outside. It tastes good. And it is actually one of the best burgers from a takeaway sort of fast food restaurant that I've ever had. It had pickles on it, it had nice sauce. The chips were good, they were crunchy. They were topped with red salt. And you had to pay extra for sauces, but I think because I paid for the chip bonus, I got a tomatoey sort of sauce and some mayonnaise. And I was actually really surprised just how good the burger was. And it wasn't raw at all. I did try one of Jordan's halloumi fries, and a lot of fast food restaurants now do halloumi style fries, but these were actually halloumi fries. They weren't the best halloumi fries ever, they were just sort of standard, but they were good, so that was surprising as well. And now we're at the point of the cheesecake. Is it going to be mouldy? Am I going to get ill? Kind of scary. I stab it with my fork, it goes flying across the table. Oops, you can have that bit. And unlike Courtney's, mine isn't mouldy, but that's all I can say about it. It was not very nice. It was definitely like a shop-bought frozen thing that they'd left, and it tasted stale. It did. It wasn't fresh at all. It was quite hard. The biscuit side at the bottom, I really like that stuff. It wasn't crunchy. The cheesecake was just this hard sort of block. It was like it had been in the freezer. It was definitely mass-produced. And then at this point, Jordan gets an ice cream, and it wasn't anything bad. It was just a Mr. Whippy, like everyone's had them. It was pretty good. So what am I actually going to rate this? Well, the atmosphere, it was kind of awkward in there, especially because I was recording. There was like a few little families and it was silent apart from that. And the guy was just sort of minding his own business but kept looking at me. But it is like a takeaway sort of vibe. I don't think it was a very nice atmosphere. The uniqueness, I've never been to a pink takeaway before. So I'd say it was pretty unique. Like there was a lot of options. The price was actually good in my opinion. Like it was about £6, £7 for a burger, but you could double up like on the patties for an extra £1, and for £3.50 I think it was, you'd get a drink and chips, and they were good chips. And it was actually quite clean in there. Like he cleaned the tables, he even brought extra napkins over when he thought we needed them. The service was really good. So I'd say it was a 3 out of 5 stars. I mean, I'd visit a Hi Kitty again for a burger. I just wouldn't get any of the other stuff. So I guess we're on to the next one now. So today I'm at Bar Burrito. There's 12 restaurants I think according to the website, and it was founded in 2005. It's the biggest franchise of the lot, and we're going to go and review it. After reading the reviews of this place, the main issue seems to be that they don't put enough meat on the burritos. They had a Valentine's promotion going on, so I went for that, which meant I got a burrito, a side, and a drink, all for £12, and so did Jordan. This was limited to the classic burritos, including chicken and vegetable, so we had one of those each. I think the closest thing that resembles Bar Burrito, in the UK at least, that I've been to, is Subway, because you can go up and instead of making a sandwich, you're choosing your burrito. I got to choose the different toppings that I wanted inside it. This time I feel like the reviews were actually quite accurate, because she literally just put a scoop of chicken onto my burrito and like sort of spread it out. But I think in terms of the actual amount of food you get, because of all the other toppings and like the brown rice and everything else that's inside the burrito, it's quite a lot of food. The side was tortilla chips and you got to choose your own sauce. I went for the hot cheese sauce and mild mango. Mild mango wasn't very mild. It sort of had a little kick to it and it built up the more you had it. I feel like with tortilla chips or nachos or whatever, you should have the cheese melted onto the nachos. I'm just not a big fan of cheese sauce. Maybe that's how they do it in Mexico, or maybe it's just a cheap way for the franchise to get by. I'm gonna try the chicken burrito. The music is probably too bad in here, but it's actually nice. And it's warm. I wasn't expecting it to be so warm because the sauces are cold. So you might be wondering what ingredients I chose. I went for chicken, vegetables, sweet corn, brown rice, guacamole, and then more vegetables. And I think for £12 eating out, it was actually a good price, but normally you wouldn't get that deal. It was literally just because it's a Valentine's Day thing. I think, in my opinion, it's more of a restaurant than Subway, because you do have like a nice little seating area, you have some booths to sit in, and it just feels nicer, I think, because there's more space and you're not as rushed to eat. At least in the UK, there isn't that many Mexicans. Not every town you go to is going to have one. The amount of stores there are, it is quite unique in that respect. But as a concept as a whole, it just isn't very unique. So what am I going to rate it? It was clean. The food was good. It had a nice atmosphere. Like, the music was nice. But normally, the price wouldn't be very good. And the uniqueness, it just wasn't that unique. So yeah, I think I'm going to give it 3 stars. The same as Hi Kitty, because I wouldn't go out of my way to go there again. But I also would go there again to eat if I was in the area. Let's go to the next one. So today I'm at OK Diner. I'm joined with my friend Robbie and Jordan, and this place was founded in 1995. It's an American restaurant that's like a roadside diner theme, and there's 9 of them. There's actually more reviews mentioning a restaurant worker named Libby than the food itself. Are we going in? So when I first walked into this place, I asked if I could record, and I wasn't allowed to record anything but the booth itself. It is really American themed. Not that I've ever been to a real American restaurant or roadside diner, but this place is how you imagine it when you've seen it in the movies. When we first got in, we sat down and chose what we wanted to eat. There's a lot to choose from on the menu. I went with the Royale burger. It was like £15 just for the burger alone, with chips and stuff, which I think is pretty expensive for just a burger and some chips. But then the burger came and it was massive, and it was really good. I had cheese on it, bacon, salad, and pickles, and it was just cooked really well. The burger was well done, which is just how I like it, but yet it was still quite moist and tasty. And the chips were really nice as well, but they way overloaded you on the chips. The plate was absolutely full of chips, and they're quite chunky chips as well, so. And it sort of made up for the £16 price of a burger and chips. I also went with a strawberry milkshake, which it was like they put some ice cream in, some strawberries, and mixed it together. It was sort of its own dessert and drink at the same time. And then after that, I also went with a cheesecake because I wanted to make up for the one that I had at Hi Kitty. And this cheesecake was so much better. It was actually fresh and crunchy on the bottom, and it just had a lot of taste to it. So while the price was quite expensive, and I think it was the main sort of issue with it, it cost me almost £30 for my meal, but it was such a good meal, and the amount of food you get as well, sort of, in my opinion, makes it worth it, because I'd rather pay that extra £10 and have a meal that I'd really enjoy, compared to saving a tenner and having something that's not quite as nice. And it isn't every day that I go to an American roadside diner, so it was quite a unique change. Okay, so we left because it was kind of awkward. She didn't like us filming, and there was copyright music. But on a rating out of 5, the food was really nice. It was clean. The atmosphere was very awkward because I had a camera. Before that, it was fine. And then I got the camera out and she really didn't want to be on camera, the waitress. And it just made it awkward. But I feel like I can't take a star away because I made it awkward with the camera. And then the uniqueness, the 1950s style of the diner, I've not really been to one before. I think Frankie's and Benny's is the closest thing I've been to.
Frankie's and Benny's.
Is it Frankie's and Benny's?
That's the closest you've come to a 50s style diner.
Yeah.
It's Frankie's and Benny's.
I think so.
That's crazy.
And so I think it was unique. Do you think it was unique?
It's definitely unique. I've never seen anything like it before, I would say. Granted, I don't go out much. But yeah, no, I think it's the closest thing you can find in Shropshire.
And then for the price, it came to
60 odd pounds, which is taking a heavy toll on my bank account. I'm sure people will pay me back very promptly.
Yeah. But I feel like for 3 meals,
and a dessert,
Yeah, and a
and two
dessert.
milkshakes.
It was worth it because it was a lot of food as well.
Absolutely, they're not shy on the portions at all.
No, they're not. And so I think it's going to be. Well, I think I'm going to have to give it 5 stars, which is.
You giving it 5 stars?
I mean, it's got. It was clean.
What did you give the other 2?
3 stars.
Oh my god,
I think-
this bar is so low.
If it was taking a star off, it would be because of the atmosphere. But it was literally just because of the camera.
Personally, I give it a 4.5 stars. Give it something to shoot for.
I don't think it was like the best restaurant ever. So in that sort of regard, I wouldn't give it 5 stars. But then I've given it 5 stars because of the way I'm rating it.
What? You don't have to give it 5 stars. You're saying this like it's an irrefutable fact.
Okay. Well, out of the rating system that I've made, I've given it 5 stars. It could improve on that atmosphere, but to be honest, I really like the food and it was good.
We created our own atmosphere. We didn't need the atmosphere.
Yeah.
The music was lovely. I really enjoyed the music.
It was like being.
Straight out of Fallout Radio, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Food, how was the milkshakes?
The milkshakes were good. It was like ice cream and milkshake mixed together, and they even gave you like the little stirring mixing pot to get the end bit as well, so you got like full use of the milkshake.
I panicked and got a Coke.
Yeah. She kept coming over before we were ready because I kept messing about with the cameras.
I know, by the time she came over, you hadn't even looked at the menu yet.
Yeah. We had to go in and she wouldn't let us film like anything apart from the booth that we was in.
And you went on to ignore that and start filming the walls anyway.
No, I filmed the walls in the booth and she didn't say anything about that.
She didn't, to be fair, no.
But I wasn't allowed to film any of the other booths or any other part of the store. So that's why there's nothing else.
Oh,
shown.
hey, that's a guy I went to school with.
What's his name?
I'm not doxing him on the video.
Well, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.
See ya.